Montego, ooh, I wanna read it. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. You guys, we're here. We did a Film Club again. It's my buddy Groot. I'm Carson. You've probably been here before, but if you haven't, welcome back. Wait, hold on. Welcome to for your first time? It doesn't matter. It's great to meet you. You like watching movies too? Perfect, you're in the right place. We watch one every single week. And then Groot and I sit around and we talk about it for a couple minutes and you can watch it. We watched a great movie this week. We always watch good movies every week. If you want to watch some of the old ones, there's a whole list that you can go check out on Letterboxd. Just type in Film Club and there'll be a list that says movies we've watched so far. You can go catch up. There's so many good things. But we watched a great movie that came out on the Criterion Channel. They put a whole bunch of John Huston movies up there. I love me some John Huston. Big fan of The Maltese Falcon. A big fan of African Queen. One of my favorite movies ever, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, also starring my man Humphrey Bogart, who was in our film this week. And, fun fact, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, it's kind of hard to say fast, came out the same year as this film. So Bogey and John Huston were busy cranking out hits in 1948 because they released this film that we watched this week, Key Largo. You ever seen it? I hadn't, and I really enjoyed it. Turns out it's based off a play by Maxwell Anderson, who you may have heard of, but maybe you haven't. He wrote a lot of plays. He wrote some films too. Isn't that all you need to know? He wrote a play called Truckline Cafe that happens to be like the debut of Marlon Brando. He's this little actor you might not have heard of. But Truckline Cafe, it only ran for like 10 performances, but it's famous for being Marlon Brando on stage. It doesn't matter. This movie right here, Key Largo, was based on this guy Maxwell Anderson's play. The play, apparently, was totally different. The movie version takes place shortly after World War II. Our guy Humphrey Bogart plays a dude who is back from World War II. His buddy George passed away in the war, so he's off to Florida to go pay his respects to the father and the widow, played by Lauren Bacall, his lovely lady. They did a bunch of movies together, and by a bunch, I mean 4. This is the 4th. So now you're all caught up. But yeah, the play took place after the Spanish-American War, and instead of being Italian mobster gangsters like we had in the film with Edward G. Robinson being a great like Al Capone, in the play version they were like Mexican banditos, and Paul Mooney actually played the Bogart part, and Uta Hagen, who is also a theater person. If you don't know who Uta Hagen is, you're just not a theater person. That's okay. You can go look her up. She's worth looking up. You want to be an actor? Read her book, Respect for Acting. Anywho, yeah, the play got changed. Like they changed everybody's name. They made it a little more modern, and it worked really well, I thought. I have not read the play, didn't see the play, but the movie I thought did a really good job. They shot it pretty much entirely on a back lot or on a soundstage in Burbank, which is over there, and it's a great set. There's like a pier. There's a lot of water. They're in a boat at sometimes. They're inside this hotel. There's a hurricane going on. Outside, not in the hotel. Come on, guys. But I was really impressed. I was like, this set is great. It was just really cool to look at. And apparently some of the hurricane footage was from this like Ronald Reagan movie that came out that same year by Warner Brothers. The things you find out on the internet, you know? But yeah, man, there was it's a Bogey and Bacall movie, which if you've never seen any of their stuff together, like I haven't, this is not one of their like romantic pairings, really. I guess we have to watch The Big Sleep if we want to see that, or even To Have and Have Not. Or is it To Have and To Have Not? I don't know. We'll have to look it up together. Yeah, they were lovers in real life. They did several movies together. There was actually a 5th one planned to do after this one. Never got around to it because Humphrey Bogart passed away. So let's... With that high note, let's dive in a little bit, shall we? We already talked about it a little bit, but it's like a really cool gangster movie. Bogart's coming in to pay his respects, and we find out that some hoodlums have kind of taken over the hotel, and everybody's locking down because the hurricane's coming through, and these gangsters have kind of taken over the joint. And it's just one of those wrong place at the wrong time, or right place at the right time if you need a hero. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we sort of slowly find out who these guys are that are occupying this hotel, and we find out that they work for this guy, Mr. Brown, who has yet to make an appearance. And once we finally see him, of course, it's our guy, Edward G. Robinson, who's a classic gangster. I mean, I haven't seen Little Caesar, but I've seen a lot of pictures of Little Caesar, and I don't mean the pizza, but he's he's one of the all-time great film gangsters. Fun fact, we share an alma mater. Shout out to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. We both went there. You know, what can you do? But yeah, we whether you know it or not, we have watched Edward G. Robinson in a movie in this club. He was in Orson Welles' The Stranger, where he actually plays against type, and he plays the cop. He plays the good guy in that movie. So it was kind of cool to see The Stranger first and then see this. Those are the only two performances of his, I believe, that I've seen. And it was cool to kind of see both sides of the coin, right? Looking forward to seeing Little Caesar now. But he plays a great gangster. I guess he was loosely based, I mentioned a little bit before, on Al Capone, who, for those history nerds out there, Capone lived all the way up until the year before this movie came out. So having it sort of based on Capone, he was a figure that was around. Anywho, yeah, the character's based on him a little bit, and Lucky Luciano, another famous gangster, which brings us to Claire Trevor. The one sole nomination at the Academy Awards for Key Largo was for Best Supporting Actress for Edward G. Robinson's character, Johnny Rocco. His, I guess, girlfriend, who he doesn't like, she is a hopeless alcoholic. She's devastating as this alcoholic, and she does this killer song at one point in the film, but she was the only nomination, and she won. She won Best Supporting Actress for this film, and she was just fantastic. Her character, Gay Dawn, is based off of a real person named Gay Orlova, who was Lucky Luciano's girlfriend. So it's kind of cool that like they updated this play, right, to be a little bit more modernized, and then were able to kind of put in some things that would make the audience at the time sort of be like, oh, I see what you're doing here, Johnny Huston, good on you. Yeah, man, another great actor that's in this movie, Lionel Barrymore. Yes, Drew Barrymore's, grandpa? I don't know. I didn't look at the family tree, but they're related. Anyway, Lionel Barrymore, you may know this, you may not. He was Mr. Potter in It's a Wonderful Life. And he's a douche in that movie, but he's really nice and really great in this film. He's wheelchair bound again in this one. He plays the father-in-law of Lauren Bacall's character. And he just crushes it, man. Lionel Barrymore is really good, and he's great in this. He really doesn't like Johnny Rocco. He wishes he can get up and fucking kill him. And there's even a pretty dramatic part where he kind of like gets up and tries to hit him, and it's great. There's just a lot of great drama, and it's all in this one little room. You could kind of tell, if you didn't know ahead of time, you probably would be able to guess that it's based off a play. It just feels kind of like it would be a play. It's like got a 12 Angry Men sort of claustrophobia to it. But yeah, man, I'm looking at some of my notes here, and I was really into this movie. There were a couple things too that I found really fun. There's a character named Toots. He's one of the gangsters in it, right? He's got suspenders and a fedora, and he's always laughing at shit. And Johnny Rocco, Edward G. Robinson's like, "What are you laughing? Quit laughing. One of these days you'll laugh at something that's funny, right?" And I'm like, oh my God. It took me all this time to finally see Key Largo, but one of my very favorite movies of all time, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, has those weasels. And I was like, Toots and Weasel. I was putting some pieces together. I was like, maybe this is where some inspiration was drawn for some of these weasels. Anyway, that actor, by the way, he invented Hamburger Hamlet, which is a great restaurant. Not sponsored. But let's go to Hamburger Hamlet, am I right? Is that still even a place? Anyway, one last little fun fact. The boat. There is a boat. If you watch the film, you know about the boat. If you didn't watch the film, how did you find this video? Anyway, the boat is named Santana. And Humphrey Bogart's boat in real life was named Santana. He loves Santana, apparently. he didn't live long enough to hear the Carlos Santana rip on a guitar. But if he had, I'm sure he would have liked him. Yeah, you guys, John Huston, what a director. Holy shit. There's also some killer cinematography going on in this movie. There were some camera moves where I was like, ooh, that's nice. So I looked up the cinematographer, and I wish I wrote down his name, but he's this guy who worked with Fritz Lang a lot. He was a cinematographer on the Bela Lugosi Dracula. He's a good egg. And there was just some killer camera stuff that I really enjoyed in this movie. It felt very modern and exciting. So, John Huston, what a guy. You know, I saw you acting in Orson Welles' The Other Side of the Wind. Thank you, Netflix, for finally getting that movie done and released so that people could see it. And it was fun getting to watch you act, John Huston, and then getting to enjoy another one of your films that I'd never seen. It was just a treat. So thank you. Thank you for The Maltese Falcon. Thank you for Treasure of Sierra Madre. Thank you for African Queen. And by golly, thank you for Key Largo. Groot and I are going to go figure out what movie to pick next. So if you don't already, go ahead and follow us at Filmstruck Film Club. That's where you're going to find out all the picks that we do every week. A lot of the times it's going to be on the Criterion channel, so it'll help if you have a subscription to that. If you don't, you can always get a Canopy subscription, which you just need a library card for. If nothing else, HBO Max has all those TCM things, and so sometimes a movie I pick will be on there. Either way, you'll be able to find it. All the movies I pick are usually things that you should see, or I should see, or we should see. So get to it. Get to watching. I hope you enjoyed Key Largo. Thanks for sitting through this video. Mwah. Love you guys. We'll do it again. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie.